Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, a friend of mine have these really nice Edifier speakers. They are the Edifier R1280DB. They have Bluetooth functionality, but this one has a problem with the Bluetooth function. I've seen lots of other people on the internet with the same problem, and as far as I know, nobody have found a solution for this. So what we will do is try a workaround of the Bluetooth circuit and see if we can make these very nice speakers with Bluetooth functionality again. So let's try it. I just have the master here, and I will show you the problem that it's doing. I've already opened it up and did some probing around to see if there was something obvious and easier to find to try to fix it, but everything looks very good and I can't find anything else misbehaving in here. So I think it's some kind of firmware or software problem inside the speakers, or maybe hardware inside the Bluetooth module, but I can't find anything obvious for me to repair. I'm not an expert, I don't know anything about programming or software communication between these kind of devices. This is too modern for me, so I'll try to make a workaround on the Bluetooth circuit. But first, let's see what it does. You turn them on and Bluetooth light comes on. If you change the input, it changes to line in 1, to flash is line in 2, optical and coax, and then Bluetooth functionality again. If you want to turn them on or off, everything is working, but if you try to pair the Bluetooth devices or something, nothing else is initialized, and no phone, no other device, no computer, nothing detects the speakers. So I've tried all the reset combinations I found on the internet. I've read the manual, the user manual for them. I've followed all the instructions, I've followed videos, I've tried everything, nothing works. So I assume that the Bluetooth module is malfunctioning, or the communication with the Bluetooth module is malfunctioning, and I can't do anything about it. But what I can do is use something like this. This is a Bluetooth module from AliExpress, and these speakers have 2 line-in inputs. I think I can neutralize one of these line-in inputs and make a Bluetooth connection on the inside. I don't know if I can have both connected to the speakers and let them work as a line-in or a Bluetooth module at the same time. I don't think that's quite safe, but I'll try to test it and see what we can do to revive the speakers. Another challenge that we have is there is no 5-volt rail on this board. So the power supply is 17 point something volts, and the smart electronics inside all work at 3.3 volts. So what I'll do is use a 7805 linear voltage regulator to create a 5-volt rail onto this board. This board has a very low power consumption, so I think the 7805 won't even need a heatsink to keep it cool. So let's try to adapt these little things inside the speaker and make it have Bluetooth again. So let's do it. So first things first, unplug it from the wall. Yeah, don't forget that. Ask me how I know. Then we know that here at these 2 points we have the main voltage from the power supply, then we have a choke and something, and I'll get the voltage exactly from here, from the entrance on the board, because I don't want to mess around with all the other circuitry. And we will feed the Bluetooth module from there, and then we will connect it here to these speaker inputs, and I think we will have a nice simple modification to adapt on this side of the board, and I think it will look nice in the end. If we need, we can also put the voltage regulator on the aluminum backplate, and we can have some heat dissipation if needed. So let's test if it gets hot and if we can inject the audio on these line-in ports. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Everything's unplugged. Just check if the voltage on the power supply has already dropped, because I don't want to mess around with the circuitry, and I don't want to mess the speakers. I want them to work fine. So now everything is clean. Let's try to do the mod on the simplest way possible. Yeah. Positive on this side, negative on this side. So like this. So I'll grab some wires with some heat shrink to connect the power to the voltage regulator. Positive wire goes to pin 1 on the regulator. Make a clean connection to put the heat shrink over it. Ground wire goes to the center pin, and we'll need to ground also on the board, because the Bluetooth board also needs ground. And this third pin is the output to our USB board. What we will do is try to put the voltage regulator directly on the Bluetooth board, and I think it will look tidier and it will feel nicer to reassemble on this board. So let's try to make it this. Let's try to make it a little bit simpler by clearing the wires on the USB, the wires on the Bluetooth board, and connect the voltage regulator directly into it. So here we can have positive side and negative side both connected to the board. Let's see if we don't rip any pads. There's always a possibility of ripping pads doing things like this, but let's see how it goes if we are lucky. Okay, so this is strong. Then I can glue it here with some double-sided tape, and it can stay here quite nicely. So this is the input voltage pin. Let me check if everything is okay. I can grab the voltage from there and solder the wire here quite nicely. Now I need a black wire from there to here also. So I will use double-sided foam tape, cut a small piece, give it some space. It fits without much trouble, so we'll make a black connection for the other side. So here is the red one, then I'll put the heat shrink on that pin. Yeah, there it is. So I will make it this. there. Here we have ground. So now we have power into the board, and then we need speaker output into line 2 or line 1, the ground of the speakers with a black wire. Ground planes are always harder to weld to because they are usually massive. Now the right speaker will be the red wire. So my battery died and I adjusted the view for you to see better what I'm doing here, and I'll keep soldering my wires. So now I'll put the red wire, the red right, it's red and it's right. Right speaker is connected, blue wire for the left speaker, better soldering, it looks nicer, and then we connect it to the left channel. So I think this is everything for the modification. For now it doesn't look too nice, maybe I will tidy up a bit in the end, but first we need to try if it works and see if this part is getting hot or not. Let's see. So I will power it up on this position, so you can see a Bluetooth light blinking in here, and I have my phone that is paired with this speaker, with this board, because I've hooked it up to the bench power supply before, and I have my phone paired with it. So my phone is working. I don't know if I'll get a content match hit for the music, but I'll try to play just some seconds. Let's turn it on and see if everything smokes. Or anything smokes, but Bluetooth module is on, and I think it will stop flashing when it pairs with the phone. Yep, it paired, I think. Okay, it blinks when it's receiving audio. We just need to replace the input on the speaker button. So now it's Bluetooth. Now it's line in 1. It's playing, but it's playing quite low. I don't think we have any volume option except for the phone. Yeah, it played a while, but I think the sound is quite low. So far so good, it's working, but it's working a bit low. Yeah, if you understand anything about speakers, you know that usually this knob that says volume is important. Ask me how I know. Yeah, speaker is working, the volume was low. So it seems to be working. Let's get some other noise that I can show you. Let's see.
This is how they played guitar in the 50s.
You ever been to one of those amusement parks where they shoot the burst of water over you and you don't get wet at all?
So if you ever get your hands on
Yeah,
This
it's working.
is a sawmill.
avião da Latam quase pousou no aeroporto.
Here are some watches that strangers almost always ask about.
What happens when you connect capacitors in series?
Zero might not exist.
Yep. Speakers are working fine. Bluetooth is working fine. Mission accomplished. Let's see if the regulator is getting hot, and if it's good, we'll reassemble it. So I'm testing with my very precise temperature sensor, and the voltage regulator is getting slightly warm. It's something almost undetectable with your fingers. So I need to just test the heating performance of the regulator, and I think we will have the speakers alive again. Let me just show you in a better way how all the mod is looking. So I'll test them, I'll play some tunes, and I'll tell you how it went. So now the regulator is getting a little warm after some time. So for safety, and because I know these speakers will work a lot of hours, I'll get the voltage regulator screwed on the back plate. I'll try to use one of the existing screws instead of drilling new ones, and put some thermal compound, some thermal paste, and wiring new connections to the Bluetooth port. Okay, so I think it will look tidier, it will look nicer, and it will work more reliably. So that's the next thing to do. Unplug from the wall, wait for the energy to clear, take the wires out. Yeah, it's better to have a hot iron. Don't try to unsolder stuff with your iron at 20 degrees. Ask me how I know. I'm sorry, but I can only say that joke today. I'm a one-trick pony. In one go. There you go. Nice and clear. Put some new solder in it, because we'll have to attach some new wires. Then we will shorten up these ones to the speakers. I'll try not to rip any pads. This is very risky when you are cutting wires and stripping wires already connected to the pads on another circuit board. So sometimes it's even better to grab the wire and melt the insulation in order to get a good contact. So that's a trick lots of console modders use. Usually when the wires are very small, it's easier to melt in the insulation. And now we do continuity testing between the things. So multimeter in continuity mode, beeping, and we will test. Right channel, ground, left channel. So everything is well connected and we are good to go. No shorting between the channels, no shorting between ground. Everything is good to go. I will just put some new solder on the right channel because I don't like when the solder joints don't look shiny as they look when they have new solder. Now I'll just rewire the power to the voltage regulator. We need to find a good place to fix it, so that's our next challenge. We will remove this screw and put a longer one with a nut and solder all the wires to it. So I'll grab some nuts and prepare some wires and we are good to go. Let's do it. Nice and tidy, our voltage regulator. So here we have wires to reach the power supply. Here we have a wire to reach the positive side of the Bluetooth port, and then we'll just need a ground wire between both, or maybe I won't even need a ground wire because I think the speaker ground will suffice. Yep, they are connected. I think we'll just need the 5-volt line. I hope you can see it now. The manufacturer uses an embossing to increase the length of the thread, but because we will use a nut to secure our voltage regulator, I need to recheck that. I'll cut this hot glue that is still in the way of the regulator. Yeah, now it's better. And let's see, maybe I'll try to increase the regulator diameter and see if we can fit it better there. Let's increase the diameter. See what I'm doing. Yep, it gets in, it gets out. I'll just give it a bit more play because we need a nice clearance between the two parts. Yep, it fits nicely, it's looking good. Probably I should clean this of all the metal filings. And now we can fix our voltage regulator with a washer and a nut and thermal paste to dissipate its heat. So I'll try to find a screw to replace this one. So I'll grab a longer screw with a bigger thread to make it hold a big sandwich of parts in this backplate. And yes, I have a gigantic amount of screws, but usually I never have the size I need. M3 screw by 8 millimeters. I will use an M3 by 10. Yep, it fitted nicely, and it gave me, I think it's enough thread to put a nut in here. So let's grab the regulator, put the perfect amount of thermal paste in it. So M3 nut. Now that's the difficult part, because I'll have to tighten the nut with a plier, and that's not a very good technical thing to do. You have been warned that my methods are not perfect. So now the regulator is in place. We can start soldering the wires back into their positions. So now I will tidy up some of these connections. So black wire, red wire is already done. So now whoops, careful with the bridging. So this connector is done. So now we just need to connect the battery or the positive power to the Bluetooth port, and I think everything is done. Tell me in the comments what do you think about this mod, please. If you like this, subscribe, show this channel to your friends, and hopefully you can see me destroying some stuff. Let's wait for the camera to cool down and test this. My camera is cool again. I'll put some drops of super glue on this nut to keep it in place, because speakers have lots of vibration and it might be important to Loctite it. Then I think we are in a good position to reconnect everything and test it. So we will connect the power and see how it goes. Will it smoke?
Bluetooth mode.
Bluetooth mode!
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Oh, it even speaks! Let's do it again. Turn off. Turn on.
Bluetooth mode. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Yep, it's connected successfully. And I'll test the audio and I'll play something. Hello! Welcome to the Retrofix channel, where I try to fix broken stuff. Yep, everything is working. On Facebook for... Shut up, man. So, let's play it for a long time and see if the regulator gets hot. I'm already gluing my fingers on it because of the super glue. I'll test it and get back to you. So, I've been playing it for a couple of minutes. It's stone cold, nothing is heating, so everything is in place. I think the Bluetooth problem of this speaker is fixed. So let's reassemble it and play them for some more hours and see how it goes. And I'll put some advice around here to keep these connectors out of reach. So I think we are good to go, and the speaker is nice and working. So let's reassemble the speaker. Done and looking good. For now, I'll grab a blue pen and write some BT inscriptions in here, but I will put a nice label. Is this enough? BT, Bluetooth. I don't want to ruin the speaker, so I'll cut it somewhere else and glue it back there. Yeah, I think you can relate to it. So it's finished. And so, to wrap things up, our speaker is working perfectly again. It looks very nice. It's a mod that you can see from the outside except from that screw, and everything works perfectly. You just now have to ignore the blue lights of the Bluetooth and use the line 1 to use the Bluetooth module inside. And as you can hear,
Bluetooth mode.
it starts right away.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
And it connects pretty fast to the phone. So I think they are as good as new. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you learned something about these speakers and about the mods you can do to keep them running. And I will listen to some music now and enjoy them before I return them to my friend. So thank you very much for watching and have fun. Until the next time, bye bye.